Welcome back to Right Now Trending TV. Before we get started, I want to thank each and every one of you for reaching over 800 subscribers. And I kindly ask that if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now and click the notification bell for more videos. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the week. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe now. I would really appreciate it. Again, thank you, everybody. Now let's get started. An emotional Teresa issues a tearful apology to Gia. So let's talk about one of the most emotional moments from Teresa's podcast, Turning the Tables. And yes, it involves Teresa tearfully apologizing to her eldest daughter, Gia. If you followed Real Housewives of New Jersey for as long as I have, you know that this mother-daughter duo has been through it all. But this recent episode, it really hit home in a whole new way. So let's dive in, shall we? Now, for those of you who may have missed it, Teresa got really vulnerable with Gia. She started off by telling her how proud she is of her. Seriously, the tears were already flowing. "You've always been my rock," Teresa said. And honestly, how often do we hear parents admit something like that? I couldn't help but think, how often do we truly tell the people closest to us that we appreciate their strength? But here's where things get even more interesting. Teresa apologized. She actually apologized for how strict she was with Gia while she was growing up. And this wasn't just a casual sorry. This was a full-on emotional apology. Teresa admitted that she had stricter rules for Gia than her younger siblings, Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana. And why, you ask? Well, this part really tugged at the heartstrings. Teresa and her ex-husband Joe were dealing with some serious legal issues back in the day. Remember the whole prison thing? Yeah, that part. Teresa went to prison for 15 months and Joe for 41 months after being convicted of financial fraud. I mean, can you imagine how much stress that puts on a family, especially on Gia? And she had to grow up fast and take on responsibilities most kids her age wouldn't even think about. But here's the big question. Should Teresa feel guilty about being strict with Gia? Or was it actually what Gia needed during such a turbulent time? Teresa seems to think she might have been too tough, but Gia, surprisingly, doesn't seem to feel that way. In fact, Gia said she appreciated how she was raised. "I love the way I grew up," she told her mom. And honestly, it's kind of refreshing to hear that, right? Gia even went on to say that she wants to raise her future kids the same way. Disciplined and structured. Who would have thought? I couldn't help but wonder, though, what was it like for Gia to be in the spotlight for so many years, especially with all the family drama? She's on New Jersey since she was a little kid, and all of those moments, from the happy ones to the heartbreaks, are captured on film for the world to see. I mean, how would any of us handle that? Gia has talked about this before. In an interview, she mentioned how grateful she is for having all those memories professionally filmed. Can you imagine having footage of your entire childhood like that? Sure, there's the pressure of being in the public eye, but there's also the benefit of having a time capsule of your life. And if you're like me, who loves to binge watch old seasons of Real Housewives, you've seen Gia grow up from a little girl into this incredibly strong young woman. She's gone through the loss of her grandparents, both of her parents going to prison, and still managed to keep her head high. I mean, how many of us could do that? But here's where it gets real. Gia also admitted that growing up on TV wasn't always easy. She felt the need to put on a brave face. "I always made it seem like I was really strong," she said, even when she was dealing with heartbreaking moments like losing her grandparents or watching her parents go through legal issues. She went to school the next day as if nothing ever happened. Can you imagine the pressure of trying to keep it all together when the whole world is watching? And here's a question. I've been thinking about it. Is that kind of emotional toughness a blessing or is it a burden? I mean, sure, Gia's strong, but should any kid have to grow up with that much weight on their shoulders? Fast forward to today, and Gia is still navigating what it means to be a part of New Jersey. In an interview from just last month, she admitted there were times when she wasn't sure if she wanted to keep filming. And who could blame her? Being in the public eye isn't easy, But ultimately, Gia said she realized what a unique opportunity it is to be on the show, and she decided to run with it. Honestly, you have to admire her for making that choice. So what can we take away from this? Well, I think it's a reminder that no family is perfect, not even reality TV families. Teresa and Gia's relationship is full of ups and downs, just like the rest of us, but what really stands out is their ability to talk about the tough stuff, to apologize, and to appreciate each other. How many of us actually take the time to do that with the people that we love? At the end of the day, I think the message here is clear. Life can throw a lot at you, but it's how you handle it that matters. Teresa raised Gia with strict rules because she felt she had to, given everything that was going on. And Gia, she turned out pretty amazing because of it. So maybe the key to happiness isn't about getting everything right, but about appreciating the journey, even the messy parts. So what do you think? Is Teresa being too hard on herself? And do you think with Gia that a little structure and discipline can go a long way? Let's talk about it in the comments. And that's it for today. So everybody, what are your thoughts about this video? Jot your opinions down below in the comments. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. And again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell for more videos. Until next time, ciao.